Thanks for joining today's Snapshot. I'm glad you have, since you had to find it. There was no email reminding you, as there will be no email tomorrow. I wanted to talk today about my good friend Steve Swanson, who is intubated and has been for over 8 days in a hospital in Elmhurst. Swanee and I are really dear friends. His wife and my wife and the two couples have traveled together frequently overseas. He's a Swedish Lutheran pastor by background. He serves a lot of interims, as I have served many interims. We're both 75. We have the same seminary buddies. We do snapshots every day and talk to each other about the quality of the snapshots and what we do, how we can improve them. But Swanee came down with this fever, probably from West Nile, after preaching in his church 10 days ago, and then he's been intubated, as I said, for over a week. And so the question is, why Swanee and not me? We interject God into these questions we have about problems we have in life, and ask, is God teaching us a lesson, we ask. Well, it's a heck of a lesson that God's teaching Maureen and Swanee if he's been intubated all this time and will have weeks on intubation and probably months of rehab. It seems like a high price to pay for whatever lesson God has tried to teach. I just don't believe God's teaching us a lesson. We say also, God doesn't give us more than we can handle. I just can't picture God in heaven saying, I'm going to send a mosquito to northern Minnesota where Swanee and Maureen have this little cabin, and I'm going to have him be one of the 100 people that's infected by a West Nile virus and has a severe reaction, and I'm going to really make him go downhill. I think he can bear a little bit more. I don't picture God saying that or doing that. We also say everything happens for a reason, a kind of fatalism where we have our life planned out by God, and suddenly God says, you know what, I'm going to lay this on him and not on that person. I don't think that's the way God operates at all. Again, things do happen for a reason. I don't put on mosquito spray. I could get bitten by a West Nile virus carrying mosquito, just as Swanee probably was. And there are a lot of things that I've done in my life that would cause me to be ill. And that's the reason, not because God has a plan for me to be sick. What do I think God does for us in this situation? I think he gives us strength to bear up. I think when we say, I believe God created heaven and earth and all that exists, that he is creating good scientists and smart people who can tell us how to be, we can respond from our illness and how we can prevent ourselves from getting illnesses like coronavirus. I also think God sends the healing power of his Holy Spirit to strengthen us and lift us up in these times. My only comfort, my great comfort, is we know how much God cares for us because he sent his son to die on the cross for us. And that tells us God's heart breaks for us more than any of our hearts break for people like Swanee. Please keep him in your prayers. We close with this hymn. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Sometimes I feel discouraged and think my work's in vain, but then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. God bless you today.